Amazing people. What an incredible time to be alive. What an exciting time to be alive. And I am excited to be here to share some of the things that are happening globally and to share some of the tools that are really the keys to healing, stepping beyond our very limiting belief systems, and really consciously creating our reality. And the planet's waking up, guaranteed, 1,000%. And you might have people that look around and say, well, there's a lot of people that still haven't awakened. Yeah, but look at what's happening. And what's going to be dropped and continues to be dropped over the coming months is it's already done. It's a done deal. So one of the keys is that we're going to talk about is knowing that. And even if you don't completely 100% remember that you specifically chose to be here at this incredible time, just be open. Look for the signs, follow your intuition, and you will be guided. I guarantee that. Hey, Alicia, great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to go refresh my page really quick, and we're going to dive in. So this is a Q&A as well. So if anybody has any questions, we're not going to dive into so-called, I don't really do conspiracy. Whoops, whoa. So if anybody has any questions. All right, audio's working. Okay, so as I was saying, not going to really dive into conspiracy theories. Hey, Charlotte, great to see you. Hey, Tani. Hey, Davia. All right, got some wonderful energy in the house. So I have some notes here as just basically a framework, but in many parts of the world, it's still the Lionsgate portal. This brought up a lot of anticipation, a lot of energy for people, and I think it's great. However, what I would like to plant a seed in, and many of you are aware of this, I'm sure, but I'm just talking to Jeff to remind Jeff. If anybody else gets something out of it, great. Every day is a Lionsgate portal because we are the lions. There's nothing to wait for. We are creating our reality with every thought and every word. And so when we wake up in the morning and we realize that we've got another opportunity, that we just came out of what my mentor Don Miguel calls the sleeping dream, and now we're in this dream right here, navigating, we've got two choices. And a lot of people aren't even aware that it's a choice. They wake up and the 50 to 80,000 thoughts just start running. I got to get up. I got to get the kids ready for school. I got to put on a pot of coffee. I got to jump in the shower. I got 30 minutes before I got to jump into traffic, whatever that is. That may be part of our everyday reality, taking care of a family, doing our responsibilities. However, those people that awaken and realize that they are now back into this reality, and we might be sleeping right now, we might be dreaming right now. I don't know. All I know is when I awaken from what we call sleep, I tend to have a more, how would I say it, focused awareness that, okay, if I was in the dream state, I might not be able to control that. But in this dream state, I am controlling it. That doesn't mean I'm controlling everything that's going on with the governments and all that, but most of you know that's a distraction, and they're on their last dying breath. It's already done. These people are being taken out left and right. And if you haven't seen it in the news lately, it's because the news hasn't been taken over yet. There's still a purpose. Trust in it. Trust in it. If you knew what was going on behind the scenes in the magnificence of it, you would be jumping up and down like a kid that was having Christmas, his birthday, all on the same day. And you came here for this, whether you remember it or not. So In parts of the world, it is still a Lionsgate portal. This has brought together a lot of people. That's great. But I want to remind you, tomorrow's another portal. The day after that is another portal. So understanding this, instead of waiting for something to pop up in social media that says, you know, Jupiter's in Uranus or whatever. I'm not down on astrology. It hasn't done enough for me to show me that I really need to track it all the time. I believe, yes, there are PowerPoints that people can track, and I believe there's people that are very good at doing that. I know my PowerPoint is when I awaken in the morning and I realize that I just came out of the sleeping dream, I have one invitation, and that invitation is to go into gratitude, to ramp up my vibration, to love on every one of these trillions of cells in my body that's been loving me unconditionally since I've been in the womb, to smile in gratitude, and then I consciously create my reality in my day every single morning, and I never, ever, ever miss a day, ever. I can't say that I did never miss a day. Hey, Amanda, great to see you. However, once you see how it works, you're going to be like, you might have a day when you didn't create your reality, and then you're like, oh, wow, my day was kind of funky and it didn't go the way I wanted. And you will begin to see that you are consciously creating your reality, or you're not. And so we're going to talk about these tools. And if anybody has any questions about this as we go through it, please ask, because there's a lot of people that watch this. There's a lot of people that watch the replay. There's people on the YouTube channel, and people have questions. A lot of this stuff might be new to them. A lot of it, they may go, yes, I know this. I've heard this for millions of years. You create your reality. But are you consciously doing it? Have you learned to track the frequency of each thought throughout the day and be able to catch the judgments, the triggers, the shameful thoughts, the doubts, the worries? Because those are not you. Those are programs that were put upon us when we came into this 3D reality that's quickly shifting out of it. It's time to celebrate. However, we still must undo this programming to the best of our ability, because once you do, you will see that you can live in 3D and be observing 3D and not have 3D pull you down. This way, you're able to help other people. You're able to love instead of judging. And you understand that every single person is your mirror. Every one. And that might be a tough one for people to get a hold of in the beginning, because when I first heard that from my teacher, Don Miguel Ruiz, I was like, what? Yeah, you mean I'm a pedophile and I'm a deceiver in the government and all this stuff? And it's like, no, maybe not necessarily. However, everything is connected 1,000,000%. So if you are judging others instead of holding compassion, then your judgments are going to pull in more of what you're judging, because you are a walking, talking, vibrating magnet. And you must figure this out. And if you want to figure it out, these are the tools to do it. Once you see how it works, and again, I'm not saying anybody doesn't see it. I'm just covering all the bases here. And it's simple once you see it, and it just becomes practice. But you must begin to track your frequency, and you must begin to catch the triggers, the self-talk, how you use your words and your thoughts and your imagination, and really begin to get excited like a little child every day. And this is the key. And if you do not do it first thing in the morning, then your day can take over, and it can just start 9:09. 9:09 on the 9th in Thailand. And numbers are cool. It's cool to play with. I just looked up at my computer. Synchronicities begin to happen when you begin to get excited and play with the field. And so many people are so distracted in survival and in judgment and in reacting to their wounds. In the 3D matrix, they're masters at this, of putting stuff out there that will keep pulling people's frequencies down, that do not consciously observe and step back and just go, oh, isn't that interesting? They're running the same program almost every week. It's a new convent. It's a new whatever it is. You just see the pattern. And yeah, it can be frustrating because people that we love are suffering and they get hurt. However, our position of power is to be and learn to be operating as the conscious observer. And so this begins every single morning. And if you were to do this and use these tools for just 30 short days, 4 weeks, and really commit to doing it and tracking it. In the book and the course, you get a daily tracking sheet. Everything's reversed in my hologram here in my camera. But it's simple. You fill it out at the end of the day. How many times did I catch myself judging? How many times did I have less than thoughts? How many times did I have fears? Because the majority of people that are running those 50 to 80,000 daily thoughts, 80 to 90% of them are negative. So, and that's a fact. It's an average, okay? Obviously, not everybody on here that's listening to this falls into that category, but over average, that's a fact. So how would you expect to create your ideal, hey, great to see you. Yeah, you've been on my mind. Hi, Lisa. Everybody give Lisa lots of love. She went through the course and she's amazing, amazing animal whisperer and sound healer and all kinds of great stuff. So great to have amazing people. This is what you attract into your reality when you're in your heart. And no matter where you are in the world, you will attract people, even if you're the only one in your town or wherever you're living that feels like they're awake and everybody else is asleep and your family's asleep. It's all right. We've got the internet. It changed the entire reality. I'm in Thailand. I don't even speak Thai. I live in a little town where I'm one of the only white guys. I stick out like I was going to say sore thumb, but I won't say sore. I stick out like a smiling white guy that smiles at every single person I see because these people are in their hearts and I love them. And I love this country for right now. It's great. However, no matter where you are, if you feel alone, feeling alone is what? It's a low vibrational frequency. I had somebody message me yesterday that went through my course about, I don't know, it's probably been a year and a half ago. And she's had some people, really special people in her life pass away and a lot of things happened. And she's just feeling alone and not loved and not in her power. And she's so amazing. And luckily she reached out to me and I sent her some messages. I said, look, you're never alone. I'm here right now. Other people are here. And your invitation is to look at the gift of every single thing that happened with one of those events. Because this is the key. Things are going to happen. People may pass away. We may lose animals. I lose wonderful wild jungle dogs every month. I mean, I just had to put one to sleep last week. It's heartbreaking. But I got to connect with that being for 24, 36 hours. And the love that was conveyed changed my life. I mean, we're not alone. We're never alone. So don't ever think that. But the key is, my point is, if you feel a less than thought, it's okay to feel it. Our feelings are our guideposts to where our frequency is and where we're going. But that is the key. When you feel a judgment, a trigger, anger, a less than thought, those don't come from love, compassion, gratitude, joy, and excitement, which are, those are the frequencies that are lifting us out of this 3D. So it becomes a simple practice of, where's my frequency right now and how do I attract that? Hey, Elaine, great to see you. So how do I attract that? So in every one of my lives, in the book, in the digital online course, I teach you there's 3 simple pieces. It's simple. If you're just willing to be accountable and look at your stuff, look at your shit, whatever. Yeah, we all get triggered. I mean, come on. We're living in the most triggered, intense, frickin' roller coaster ride thing we could have ever chosen. Now, why would we have chosen that? We're sovereign divine beings. We're everything. We're the cosmos. We know everything. We're love. We're vibrating. We're hanging out with the fairies, the animals. We're actually communicating with them. And this is coming too. We're going to be able to communicate very clearly with the animals and the elementals. It's right around the corner. It's here. And some of you can already do it. This stuff is happening, people. And please don't be one of those that goes, I'll believe it when I see it. That's exactly how you stay stuck and trapped in 3D. Because your belief system creates your reality. And this whole process of going through this waking up in the dream thing is realizing that your belief system is not even your own. When my mentor, Miguel Ruiz, got me to see that in 2001, my head exploded. It was one of the greatest aha moments that I've ever had in my life. We were writing down all our beliefs in a journal. And I'm like, oh, these aren't even mine. And then I saw it. I saw how people get a tiny, tiny little belief system that wouldn't even fit on the head of a pin. And if anything challenges that belief system, new information trying to come in, and it doesn't resonate with them, or it triggers their ego into fear, I'm not sure, or whatever, they frickin' get triggered automatically. You see this happening everywhere. And this is how the 3D matrix is set up, to trigger everybody, to keep them in the same repeating loops of low vibrational frequency. Fear, judgment, doubt, lashing out, hatred, fighting one another. They know how to do it because they have all their DNA and they know exactly what's happening. But the great news is they're all being removed. And I can't go over every single thing. And I really know nothing. That's my position of 0 point. But I track frequency. And when I hear people talk about things, and I've been going down the rabbit hole for a long, long time, basically since second grade, when I was in Catholic school, and I knew something was really, really wrong. Every day was Judgment Day. The nuns were pissed off. They were unhappy. People in the church were judging everybody. Jesus was nailed to the cross. I mean, I'm not saying all religion is wrong, but it's been manipulated to keep you from understanding that you are the creator. God said, you will do greater things than I. He didn't say, bow down to me and beg to me and put money in the box so I'll throw you a bone. No. You are it. Own it from a place of compassion and love and gratitude. So let's dive into it. Okay, so these automatics that people are reacting to that keep them stuck in 3D are either one, unhealed, unresolved trauma, which means, my father was an alcoholic. I got raped. I got abused. I didn't have any parents. I got abandoned at birth. Okay, let me tell you that I journey with people every month and almost every day of the week. And we go deep into undoing this stuff. And I'll tell you what, the people that have had the most challenging things happen in their life, and number one, they chose it. Now that might sound weird to you, and I'll get into that in a minute. But those people, when they're willing to look at it and go, okay, this happened. Yes, I'm open to the fact that this was part of my agreed upon soul contract, although I don't remember it because we forget all that stuff when we come down here. But when you're willing to look at what is the gift here, no matter how horrible it is, I have people that have been so sexually abused and stuff that when they finally heal it and clear it, which happens very quickly, once they're ready, they go on to be the most compassionate, healing, loving people because they chose that challenge. So no matter what you've been through, never allow yourself to be a victim. I understand it sucks. And you might be thinking, just like I was, I would have never chosen all this shit to happen to me. I would have never chosen that. But now that I've used the tools and studied with many amazing teachers and put 2 and 2 together, it's like, yeah, I chose that. I chose to have my father die when I was very young. I chose to have 2 stepfathers that ruled with an iron fist and would take me out into the garage and beat me. And, I made it through it. And I'm not holding any hatred or anger towards anybody. I'm grateful for every single thing because we cannot be holding anger, resentment, or hatred towards anybody. Otherwise, who's holding it? We are. Who is a walking, talking, vibrating magnet in every moment? We are. So who's going to attract other similar situations to their magnet if they're holding any lack of forgiveness, any judgment, or any hatred or resentment towards anybody, including themselves? You're going to attract those people in relationships. You'll attract lack in your life. Abundance will be a bitch to attract. And so this is why I'm so passionate about sharing these tools and why I come on here and do it. And because I never had money. I grew up around lack. That was mirrored to me every single day. My uncle had 8 kids when my dad died. My mom was in fear. She didn't have money coming in. And it was just mirrored to me in the church, lack, lack, lack. And so it took me a long time to figure it out. And these are the tools to do it. So again, if anybody has any questions, so we're going to go back to piece 1, inner healing. If there's anybody to forgive in your life, I invite you to do it as soon as possible. They may have already passed on. A great way to do it is to write down, maybe you could write in your journal, you did this to me or whatever, but I know it was part of my soul contract, and I forgive you 100% right now. And here's the key for mastery. When you can say thank you to somebody that hurt you or upset you, because again, they perfectly played their role on your soul contract. If you're open to this, you're going to heal and clear things so fast. It's not going to take you 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 years. Hey, Karen, it's not going to. So this is the key. And your ego may be struggling with it a little bit, because if you've been in pain and it's caused you messed up relationships and lack and self-worth issues and everything else your whole life, that's going to be your story. And just a guy coming on here telling you that you should thank everybody for what they did to you, there may be a reaction. Like, yeah, fuck you, Jeff. I'm telling you, though, I went through it. This is how you get out of it. I've taken so many courses. I've read most of the top spiritual books. I've gone to the 3-day seminars in San Diego, Los Angeles, Sedona, Las Vegas. And I was all pumped up for about a few days afterwards. I got out of there. And then what happened? I came right back down because they didn't show me how to go in and do the inner clearing and healing. This is the key. This is the whole key. You can take every course on abundance. You can make a bunch of money. You can, have all these goals, which is great because we're here to create. We're unlimited creators. However, if you do not do the inner healing, you are walking around carrying a magnetic frequency that's going to attract more lack, more narcissistic, more broken relationships. They're all going to be teachers. It's just going to be one teaching after another. And you're going to be like, how come I keep attracting the same person in relationships? How come no matter how hard I try, I never can hold on to money? It's all the inner game. And these are the tools. It's not that difficult. It's just stopping and beginning to consciously create your reality every single morning and then throughout the day. I have everybody that goes through the course with me, the mentorship, they set alarms on their phone. They're going off every hour, 10:33, 11:44, 12:11, 1:22. And even if they don't catch them all, they catch 5 a day. That's 150 times a month plus 30 times in the morning of creating the reality. That's 180 times a month that they're tuning in, loving on every cell of their body, raising their frequency, being in gratitude, and consciously envisioning the reality. I'm in abundance all the time. And even if you don't have the money that you desire right now, you start pointing out the abundance. Wow, look here, I've got an incredible heart somebody gave me. Wow, I've got another one right here. Wow, I've got a microphone. I've got a pyramid. I've got amazing guitars right here. I've got a place to live. I've got internet. I've got chimes and bowls. I've got food. I've got my health. I've got water. All I have to do is turn on a faucet. I can look out the window and I see more trees and fruits and dragonflies. And you begin to start finding things to be grateful for, and you will start to magnetize stuff in to where you're just going, wow, this shit works. Yeah. And that's why the 3D matrix is set up to distract and to trigger people over and over and over and over. Republican versus Democrat, white lives matter. Everything is separation to keep people at odds. So if you're still watching the news, you're getting programmed, no matter how awake you think you are. Well, I only watch, one of my favorite shows. Whatever, that's up to you. But the television was created with 30 frames a second. 30, 30, 30. In between those frames are subliminal words that you don't see. 30, 30, 30. So your favorite show could be great, and they're programming lack and fear and all kinds of shit in between those 30 frames. They're brilliant. They know how to do it. Why do you think there's a television in every home? Why do you think they made it so easy? Okay, I call it the tell-lie vision. They even call it programming. We interrupt this programming. They tell you what they're doing. So, I'm going to take a breath. I love it, though. I love this stuff because, man, when you see somebody's life changed in 30 short days after they have been in hell for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decades, and the light bulb goes off, you just go, wow, what a blessing. I'm so glad I stayed here. Because if any of you know my story, I was ready to check out several times. I was suicidal big time. Apple cider vinegar and lime juice. Alkalines your body, super cheap, super easy, no struggle. The other one I do every day or every other day is baking soda and lime. Just make sure if you're in the US, you don't buy Arm & Hammer because they put aluminum in theirs. So be aware of soulless corporations. They are soulless entities with only one thing in mind, and that is to make money. But also, all corporate food is dead. There's nothing in it that's healthy for you. Nothing. Go into any 7-Eleven or into any major chain and look at what's on the shelves. It's all dead food for the most part. Yeah, you can go into the produce section. You can find some live vegetables or whatever, but you know what I'm talking about. So it's not about fighting the old. That keeps you stuck in 3D. It's about becoming the observer and going, okay, what are the easiest, simple ways to raise my vibration? That's it, because I'm all about simple. I'm not about hard work. That's 3D. Difficult. That's 3D. So, does anybody have any questions about anything I've shared? I mean, I'm dropping a lot. There's a lot of people that just do one little topic and they do 5 minutes. And, I have some of those videos on my YouTube channel. There's over 300 hours of videos on my YouTube now. I didn't even realize it. I went in yesterday and I was trying to find something and I'm like, oh my God, I got over 300 hours. And it's all this. It's all about the tools. So if you want a free resource and you want to do it, the interesting thing is when things are free, people don't tend to really dive in as much, which is why I paid my mentor, Don Miguel Ruiz, I paid him to mentor me for almost 10 years. And I've still been in the Toltec community for going on 21 years now because stuff works. And it's the simplest thing I've found, So let me go to my notes here real quick. So healing and forgiveness are a must. Download that right now. Even if you're in resistance and you're pissed off and you're like, well, my sister, she stole half the money. I know, I deal with people every month where they got left out of the family will, they got screwed over, they got really horrible stuff. But you have to understand, you did not have anything happen to you that you did not agree to. So what is the gift here? Here's the 5-word mantra to always ask. Anytime you get triggered, go into judgment, have a less than thought, have a fear, have a doubt. What is the gift here? Because it's just it's your soul tapping on your shoulder to get your attention. And it will keep tapping on your shoulder to get your attention until you ascend above and remember who you are. An unlimited divine being of love. Keyword, unlimited. You're unlimited. And most people's belief systems are so limiting, they don't even scratch the surface of what we have the ability to do. Here's a question. Do you talk to your cells every day in order to reverse your aging? What? Yeah. Do you speak to your cells Every day. I know some of you do, because this is part of the waking up in the dream journey. First thing every morning is love on every one of your cells, because these trillions of cells in your body are trillions. They're all consciously aware, and they're listening to every single thought, every single word, every belief, everything you think, say, and do. And so if you're not feeding your body love for everything that's done for you, just think about what your body's done for you since you've been in the womb. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years of loving on you and serving you unconditionally, even when you're asleep. Even right now, there's trillions of functions happening in your body right now. You couldn't even think of all of them, even if you attempted to. Trillions of functions happening right now to process this information at the speed of thought. Your eyes are doing what they're doing. Your blood's being purified. Your heart's beating. Every cell of your body is regenerating and healing on you. And it's the most magnificent machine ever. Hey, Karen, great to see you. Yeah, the replays will be up, and they're all on my YouTube channel. Setting your intentions. I'll do my best to go back to that, but it's all in here. First thing every morning. And if you don't have the book, get it, or go to the YouTube channel and take notes on there. Yeah, anything about your body. First thing is self-love. If you want to heal or let go of weight or become in better shape or anything, the first thing is self-love, self-love. Because if you just start off with, I hate you, I don't like the way I look, that's low frequency, and every one of your cells is listening to that and hearing that. So first thing is self-love. Then, when you can love your body how you are, then you just open the door to create change through diet or exercise or just, I know people that lost weight because they just dropped all their wounds. There's people that put on weight because something happened to them and they're holding shame or they got sexually molested or whatever. There's all kinds of things. But the bottom line is self-love in the beginning. All right? So healing and forgiveness are a must. Plant that seed, forgive everyone. Otherwise, you're the one holding it. And if your ego wants to hold on to that, just let you know, you're going to be attracting more and more and more of those type of people that are holding that same frequency in order to mirror you and to wake you up. And it is likely to get more and more intense, or you may go through this entire lifetime and have to come back and reincarnate because you just couldn't let it go. So super, super important. All right? So when you can get to the place where you can thank everyone as your teacher, especially those that triggered you or did things to you, that's mastery. Congratulations. That's key. That's priceless wisdom right there, period. All right? So the next piece of this three-part thing, inner healing, part 2 is dismantling your belief system. It's not even yours. Every single one of your beliefs came from outside of you. The school system, religion, your parents, your grandparents, whoever raised you. And yet, you can see that people get triggered if anything challenges their belief system. The whole world is beyond your belief system. Your belief system's right here. Again, it wouldn't even fit on the head of a tiny pin. Now, yeah, you can believe in... I kept 2 beliefs when I went through this process in 2001, 2002. That love is the answer in every situation, although never accept abuse from anybody. I have a mantra. Anything less than love is unacceptable in my life or my relationships. I can love you from a distance. I can send you healing energy, but I will not accept anything less than love in my life and relationships. And I don't get triggered when it comes at me because I can see that it's a person's wound. That's the observer. I'm back here observing to the best of my ability. I still get triggered once in a while, but I don't get triggered at people. I get triggered if my computer does something or I'm having a sound issue or whatever. And usually that tells me, hey, man, maybe it's time to take a break. You've been going at it for, 6 hours straight. You got 50 tabs open and you're messaging with people in 4 different countries and you're multitasking, maybe go out and get out in nature. Okay? So begin to track your frequency, and anytime you get triggered, stop. Stop. Ask yourself, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? You know, if you go through the course, everybody gets a clicker. And they're tracking their judgments and their triggers and their doubts and their fears. And this is the only way to do it. You can watch one of my lives and go, okay, I got it. If you don't put this into practice and do the three pieces, which is inner healing, forgiveness of everyone, stopping the judgments, because that's the biggest addiction on the planet. And I have a whole chapter in here on judgments and how to undo it quickly. But you must begin to be accountable. If you react every time and go, they're wrong, they're wrong, they're wrong, you're screwed. You are going to loop in 3D endlessly. How do I know? I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be a judgeaholic in Catholic school starting in the 2nd grade. The nuns were angry and pissed off every day. Every day was Judgment Day. We were good kids, but it was all anger and fear. And I did that in private Catholic schools wearing a little bow tie and a uniform every day for almost 10 years. And I was also an altar boy in church, and I saw a lot of stuff go down. And, you know, so anyway, eliminate judgments. They're all about you. If you can get that, everything in your life and reality will shift. That's a deep one. What do you mean they're all about me? You mean those people harming the children and poisoning everybody, and that's about me? Well, if you can be the conscious observer and send them love, and it doesn't mean don't ever go out and take action or do something, but you've got to understand that at this point, fighting the old 3D is what they want us to do. That keeps us in a low frequency. If you can go out and create change and hold your frequency at a high resonance as the observer, that's when you step out, you know? And I'll be the first one to tell you, if I ever saw anybody harming a child or molesting them, or I don't know what I'd do. But luckily I haven't attracted that into my reality. I have exposed pedophilia for over 10 to 20 years when other people judged me harshly for bringing that out because they don't want to look at it. They don't even want to look at adrenochrome or what's actually really going on and why these people are in control. But I've seen it for a long time. So choose where you're going to navigate, but do it from love. Do it from love. Okay, so here's a great thing. Thank you for sharing, Stephanie. Okay, this is just honest, so this is great. This is where we're at, people. I'm not judging anybody here. I'm talking to Jeff every single time so he doesn't forget, okay? Because these tools are the number one tools that change my life out of anything I've ever done, out of the over 6 figures I've spent on books and courses and mantras and EFT tapping and everything. These are the tools, and they're simple. If you apply them, your life will change faster than anything else I've ever found. But you must do it. And it's simple. These are the keys. So Stephanie says, I have a really hard time forgiving people who purposely hurt others. Okay. So I can relate to that 1,000%. However, number one, you're programming your subconscious by telling them, I have a really hard time. Hard is a spell word. I talk about spell words. I'll even go over it here now. Spell words that keep people stuck in 3D are hope, wish, want, try, difficult, hard, need, going to. Remember, the subconscious is listening to every single thought you speak, every word you think, every belief you have in your imagination, and it can only take a direct order. So this isn't targeted at you, Stephanie. I'm really glad you brought this up. But when you say, I have a really hard time forgiving people who purposely hurt others, okay, so this is great. So you're honest. So now let's look at who's holding the lack of forgiveness. Who's holding it? You. So first of all, I'll point out, you have a wonderful, beautiful heart because loving people don't hurt others. However, now it's time to move to the next level and move beyond 3D, because there will be no people that can't forgive others that are in 5D. It doesn't exist. The judgment doesn't exist in these higher frequencies. It can't. And again, the good news is we're receiving tons of energy and light and things that are blasting the planet. So don't think you're going to get left behind. However, your invitation is to forgive everyone because they got wounded. Most of these people that are out there harming children and poisoning our air, food, and water, these doctors that are lying and pushing chemo and pharmaceuticals and all that, they've been MK Ultra'd. They've been controlled and programmed. And for those that were forced into it, they'll be forgiven. For those that haven't, I don't know what's going to happen to them. I'm not the judge of other people. But the bottom line is, I invite you to take this reflection, if you like, and really look at it. And thank you for stepping up and being honest. Because everybody out there is feeling the same way. Yeah, why would we forgive people that intentionally harm others? That's how we stay stuck in 3D, because we're running on emotional triggers and we don't understand the bigger picture that we must forgive. It doesn't mean ever accept any abuse. It doesn't ever mean don't report somebody that's harming or abusing children. No, but it means where is your frequency? And if you're holding on to lack of forgiveness or judgment or anger or hatred towards anybody, you are holding that frequency, and it's going to keep you from moving into higher timelines. So thank you for sharing that. Any other questions? All right, let me look at my notes here. Okay, so dismantling the belief system. Any questions around that? You're welcome. I appreciate your openness. Again, I'm just talking to Jeff. You know, I still have a difficult one with the ones that are, you know, sacrificing children and poisoning everybody. And, you know, however, I understand the bigger picture to the best of my ability. And I'm doing my best to be an example. I'm not above anybody. I still get triggered. Yeah, it happens. I'm a very passionate person, but I also understand that we are walking, talking, vibrating magnets. And I understand that these timelines, you know, you can look at every one of those dots as you're pulling in a timeline. They already exist now. Nothing is in the future. Your money, your abundance, your soulmate, if there is one, if you believe in that sort of thing, it's all here now. And the only reason why you wouldn't attract what you desire now is because you either don't believe it, or you believe that you have to work hard, or it's difficult, or you got to struggle. Those are all 3D words, and they all keep people looping. Why do you think those words were put into the spelling system? First of all, it's called spelling. We were never taught that it means to cast spells. They tell you what they're doing, meaning the people that put together this whole prison matrix system, okay? So we're not even going to fight them. They're being removed. They cannot survive in the new energies. And this has been prophesied for thousands and thousands of years. This isn't just me saying it. So I put two and two together. I follow the frequencies of my intuition. And here we are in 2022, a golden year of people awakening at 9:44 a.m. in Thailand. I just look up there. It's 9:40. Synchronicities happen when you expect them, you trust in them, and you consciously set your intention that what's for your highest good will come to you if you've cleared, you know, done the inner healing, and then you consciously create your reality every day and then throughout the day. I don't know why anybody wouldn't use these tools. They're being handed to you. They're so freaking simple. But our minds are tricky. They're like, yeah, that sounds really good. I think I'll do that. And then meanwhile, you got 50 to 80,000 thoughts that are running underneath that are overriding your, yeah, I'll do my best to put that into play. You must do it and commit to it. And I've laid out the simplest 30-day thing that I could ever do. And I don't stretch it out, like my teacher. I had to sign up. I had to commit to working with Miguel a year at a time. That was a big stretch for me back in 2001. I didn't have the money. I was living in my recording studio. I was just like, I got to do it. And then one of my friends who was a woman, she said, just jump, just go for it. The money will show up every month. And it did. It did. Here I am 21 years later. Now, I never plan on writing a book or doing any of this stuff. But when you follow your passion and you're willing to look at your stuff, you start to realize that you are an unlimited creator. It doesn't mean that you don't have, things to clear or go beyond, but you'll begin to see that life is for you 1,000,000%, because you are creating it all. And when you understand that and accept 100% responsibility, there's nothing to do but go in and heal. That's like the first thing. But for most people, that's the last thing they try. They'll try mantras and crystals and, going to raves and whatever they do. We all do it. If they knew how powerful it was to simply just forgive and heal and understand that it was part of your soul contract, they could save themselves decades and maybe even lifetimes by just going, oh, wow, amazing. Yeah, I'm glad it resonates. It took me a long time to figure some of this stuff out. And, again, my mantra is I know nothing. I just track frequency. And I can feel when I start to I can catch judgments before I catch them. I don't use the words need, want, wish, hope, try, should, going to. I don't use them. And when I'm talking to a client and it's like our week 1 call, they're going through the 30-day mentorship with me, sometimes the word, I might say, well, you really need to do this as part of the program. But I'll stop and I'll go, it should be your intention to do this. And I'll show them that I was going to say the word need, but I don't say it because I saw it coming before I said it and I stopped it. And if you just train yourself to eliminate these spell words and use some of these tools, it'll shift completely the way that you create and attract your entire reality. It will, because this is how our reality is created. I wish I could just give everybody, the seed, like, here you go, just take it. It's the red pill. And then you'll just remember and go, oh my God, I used to judge everybody. I used to react. I used to be triggered. And now I'm not. It's like, yeah, it's completely life-changing, more than anything else you'll ever do. And there's nothing hard or difficult about it. It's simply practice of, okay, I just had a judgment. What is that trying to show me or teach me about me? See, the ego, which if you really want to get a handle on it, name your ego. My ego, I named Larry. Larry's the judge, fear-based, shame guy, the guilt. He finds everything that's wrong with me when I look in the mirror. I don't like your glasses. Your hair is getting gray. You got some ring. He points it all out because that's what he's been taught in a 3D world, because that's how advertisement and judgments have been set up. But Larry, yeah, I love Larry. Larry's my best friend now. He'll still pop up once in a while, but he just reminds me, okay, here's another little piece. Don't forget. So if you name your ego, Negative Nancy or Matilda or, whatever you want to name it, you can start to see what he or she does. And you can see that he or she usually sits on your shoulder like in a cartoon where the devil's on one side and the angel's on one side. Larry was just trained to do what he did. He was just doing it perfectly. It wasn't his fault. Larry is nothing more than energy reacting to emotional responses. So what triggers emotional responses that keeps us stuck in 3D? 2 things. Any unhealed wounds that get mirrored or touched on, or we get reminded of, or anything that challenges, yeah, Debbie Downer, that's a good one. Yep. So love on her. So anything that triggers an unhealed wound that reminds us of that will trigger us because we don't feel safe, or it reminds us of that, and we react. It's an emotional hit. And the other thing is anything that challenges one's belief system if they don't understand that the belief system is a tiny prison. Now, if something challenges your belief system and you don't like it, you don't have to get triggered. You just go, my favorite 3-word mantra, to never react again. Great to see you. Yeah, keep in touch. Let's do a call sometime soon. Love you. All right. So my favorite 3D mantra of observation is, isn't that interesting? I invite you to write that down. It'll change your life. Anything that challenges your belief system or that you might begin to go into judgment around, you catch yourself as the observer and you go, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I wonder if the world is really flat or round. I don't know. I just saw a great documentary the other day where it looks like it's definitely flat. And we've been lied to again and again. And that tells me probably it. But here's the bottom line. Does it really affect my life whether the earth is flat or round? No. It's just another frickin' distraction for people to argue about. 3D, Republican versus Democrat. Keep everybody distracted and arguing, and they'll be our slaves forever. Yeah, it's pretty diabolical. But the observer who has questioned his entire belief system can sit back and go, isn't that interesting? They keep running the same program over and over, and it's the same thing month after month, week after week. It's the monkeypox, ballpox, anal pox, whatever pox, whatever it is, or, it's the next thing. And it's all fear-based all the time. Once you see it, you'll be like, I can't believe people are falling for this shit over and over and over and over and over. It's so in people's faces now that you've got to be in denial to not know that you've been lied to. And God bless you. It's painful. I saw this stuff when I was in 2nd grade. I don't know why. I don't know how. And, to awaken after you've lived your life for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years and realize that you've been lied to about every single thing, yeah, it's going to be a shock. But do you want to awaken and continue to be an angry, pissed off reactor and attract that into your reality over and over and over and harm your body and all your cells and be operating in that type of toxic negativity? Or do you want to go, oh, okay, I see how this game's played now. All right. So I'm going to heal myself. I'm going to realize that my belief system isn't even my own. And if I even begin to get triggered, I'm going to stop immediately and go, take a breath and smile and relax my body so it doesn't get emotionally triggered. I'm going to go, okay, what is this trying to show me or teach me about me? It's never about out there. Yeah. So, got to own our stuff, people. And, it's so simple to do the inner healing. And if that triggers anybody, it's not my intention, but if it does, maybe it's supposed to. It's not my intention to upset anybody. But I journey with people that have been through the worst horrific stuff. People murdered, MK Ultra'd, raped, abused, locked up, kept as a prisoner in a cage for years. I mean, serious stuff. And when you decide to heal, you can actually do it in either one session or within a week or two. Because, the memory might still keep popping up, but, you can forgive. So I'm going to bring this up because it's part of what we're talking about. So first of all, my heart goes out to you. I know that's painful. And I know it's painful to observe what I've seen in the last several years. I don't really want to dive into this too deeply, but the hospitals are getting paid almost $300,000 if they just list that the death was COVID. $300,000 to write that down on the death certificate. So look at every hospital. Everybody's dying of COVID. Now, I just saw a thing today, they've exposed the hospitals as human baby trafficking center. I mean, it's diabolical. But Stephanie, your thing is, I'm sorry about that. That was part of your mom's soul contract. And even if we don't understand, like my dad died in a plane crash when I was 7. I never even got to know him because he was on the road every single week traveling. And I only got to see him for like one day on the weekend. So I never really knew my dad. I know he loved me, but your mom is in the most heavenly realm right now. And she's smiling down on you. And she definitely does not want you to be unhappy. So for whatever that's worth, thank you for sharing that. And yeah, there's always something to learn. That's why I say one of my mantras is, I know nothing. That lets Larry know that there's always something to, you're welcome. Yeah, I mean, we're all in this together. I get it. I'm a feeling guy, man. I cry with clients almost every day. I feel things before they feel it because I see what they're going through. I see the program they don't see, and I know that it's locked down there. And if I can get to that space, they can feel it, and it helps them to release. So I do it. And afterwards, we feel amazing. Tears are one of the greatest healing things we can ever do. But when somebody gets on a call with me and they begin to have a tear, and that thing that they've been desiring to clear their entire life comes up, the first thing they do is what? They wipe up and they wipe away the tear. And then what do? They apologize like it's shameful to be crying. That's a learned, taught 3D behavior. Like, your parents might go, you better stop crying or I'll give you something to cry. Crying is one of the most healing, orgasmic releases of energy. And if we don't release it, it can create disease. So this is really key, people. There is no shame, and especially talking to the men here. I journey with a lot of men, and men in like the UK and Ireland and Australia. Some of these men are like, they can't show emotion. Don't be a pussy, be a man. And that's why men have a lot more heart attacks than women. So it's time to get in touch with our hearts and really align with like-minded people and know that it's okay. We've all been through this stuff. But the great news is, again, because I'm all into great news, is we came here for this time, and it's about to get so frickin' good. Almost makes me go into tears right now. We've all been through so much. But it's happening right now. The greatest shift in millions of years, and you're here for it. So become the conscious observer. Begin to track your thoughts, your judgments, your shame. You're not enough. Clear that shit. Get the book or don't get the book. Go to the frickin' YouTube channel and watch that stuff. It's free. I know there's lots of distractions. Your life depends on it. Come and do the 30-day journey with me. I will mentor you for 30 days. I will be in your corner every single day. And you will receive the tools, the PowerPoint trainings that get you to see what Larry's doing or Debbie Downer. You must be able to see the program that they're running in order to dismantle it. Otherwise, they'll win and they'll defend it every time, or the wound will keep defending and keep recreating it all over. I have these PowerPoint trainings where you see what they do and you go, oh my God, almost everybody is reacting and becoming triggered to that same thing. Yeah. So it's super, super key. And I love doing this, if you can't tell. Anybody that puts their trust in me and comes and journeys with me, they just go, that was the most life-changing thing I've ever done. And I don't say that about me. It's not me. It's this information. It's what we've been told. And now we're just putting it together and sharing it. It's not because I'm so great. I just love this because it works. So it makes me feel good to help other people. So if anybody's interested in doing that, send me a message or go to the website. Look at the testimonials. You can do this. I'm telling you, you cannot go through this course and get on calls with me for a couple hours. Some of my calls are 2.5. I don't time my calls. If we're in it, we go deep. I go as deep as anybody's willing to go. You watch these PowerPoint trainings, you use this sheet every day, and I guarantee your life within 30 days will be completely changed forever. Doesn't mean that you'll never have a judgment or a trigger or nothing will ever happen, but your level of awareness will be so far beyond the automatic reactor, and you'll heal yourself. It'll change every single thing in your life, from your relationships to what you spend your time doing that you're passionate about, to abundance, to your health. It's it. I love it. So let's see what we have here. I find resentments towards others and their actions hard to release. Okay, this is like Stephanie's comment. Yeah, tips. Okay, so again, as I share, every time you have a trigger or a less than thought or a judgment or a resentment or a lack of forgiveness, it's about you. They're the teacher. You had an agreement with them that they would be one of your greatest teachers. So our greatest teachers are not the people, well, they could be the loving people. They could be the loving people. Oh, you know what, Stephanie? He looks like he's on YouTube maybe. I guess I'm getting comments from YouTube too. Okay? So, yeah, I don't know how to show him if you're not seeing him. So I'll read it again. So Awaken says, I find resentments towards other humans and their actions hard to release sometimes, especially when feeling slighted or wronged, even though I know they're a reflection of me and there's a gift to find. Any tips, Jeff? So anybody that challenges us or triggers us into judgment is our greatest teacher. So here's the thing. You train yourself with these tools to go, okay, I just had a trigger. You immediately stop. If you do not stop and take a breath and tune into your body, the emotional reaction from that trigger will run the mind, and they'll go, yeah, these fucking people, they always do it to me. I can't believe it. It'll just run and run and run. And depending on how big the emotional reaction is, it could run for days or weeks or years or never get cleared. So this is it. This is where we go in immediately and we go, I just had a judgment. I just had a trigger that really upset me. And you go, what is the gift here? That is mastery. If you don't, you're going to recycle and you're going to come back and have to do it over and over and over and over. I would come back and watch this as many times as it takes, because this is your get out of hell free card right here. This is called 100% accountability for everything that shows up in your life, no matter how awful or upsetting it may make you. What is the gift here? Doesn't mean you can't process emotions of something that happened to somebody, or you lost a loved one and you just go, oh, what's a gift? But eventually it's all a gift. The gift was you got to know that person. You got to love that person. They were your parent, whatever. People may leave the planet. In the near future, people may have the choice of staying here as long as they want to. There's proof that people lived for thousands of years. There's proof that people were 37 to 40 feet tall. There's so much hidden stuff that's been hidden from us that's going to be brought into the open pretty soon. You're going to see that belief system was nothing but a prison, a complete prison that was forced upon you in the school system and every teaching system available, almost. Not everyone. There's good teachers out there and good parents and good mentors. But you're going to see how they enslaved us. And it's going to be so mind-blowing and so exciting and such a celebration. You're going to go, oh my God, I'm so glad I came here. What I went through is nothing compared to this magnificence that I knew this was going to happen when I came down here this time. And if you're not a believer, then you wouldn't be listening to this far into the recording, or you wouldn't be interested. Something inside you is going, I wonder if this guy's right. I can't prove it. You can prove it if you begin to use the tools, but every single day. You can't just go, yeah, that was a pretty good, transmission. I believe the guy's in his heart. I think he's got some good tools. If you do not practice this and put it into practice every single day until you can begin to dismantle the old automatics, heal, and stop the judgments, the old program it'll just take off again. And you'll find yourself again going, look, I can't believe why all this shit's happened to me, and I can't manifest money. And it's just the way it is. You must program yourself. And you must do it every single day. In the future, we won't have to do it every single day because our DNA is being activated more. We're remembering, our frequency's going up, and this stuff is going to be cleared for ourselves and the entire planet, those that stay here. So that's more good news, more good news. But for right now, we are holding space for others. We are teachers. We are people that are giving people a hand up. And a lot of times we need a hand up. I can use a hand up. I mean, I help a lot of people, but there's times when I'm like, fuck, I could really use somebody to mirror me right now. So I reach out to somebody that I know has the tools and will mirror me instead of judging me. This is what we're doing. We're all being invited to come together now. And anybody that you judge as a loser or a homeless person or whatever, that's just your ego programming, lowering your frequency. It doesn't say anything about the other person. It's you. And we must learn to track that and feel it in our body. And this is the fastest way I know how to do it. It's a brilliant program. It really is. And I would have never said that years ago because I would have felt like I'm being a complete egotist. But the proof is in the pudding. I haven't found anything that's faster than this. It goes right to the root of the three main issues. Inner healing, got to do it. Dismantling the belief system, you got to do it. You've got to be able to see that it's a prison. Otherwise, it's going to be your prison for as long as you live. And then the third piece, which we'll talk about now, which is consciously and intentionally creating your day, your reality, first thing every single morning. If you are not doing this, then don't expect a lot to change. Or do expect a lot to change. Because if you expect it, it can change. But I'm telling you a faster way. Because again, most people wake up and the alarm goes off and they go, okay, the mind just starts running its 50, 80,000 thoughts again. You're going to do whatever you need to do to survive or thrive in your life. If you have a job or you have a child or you have a husband to make breakfast, you're going to do it. But if you begin to wake up a little bit earlier, go to bed a half hour earlier, set your alarm a little bit earlier and awaken, and then spend that precious quiet time with yourself, loving on your cells, raising your frequency. And it's very important to smile when you love on it. It's very important to smile when you get triggered too. Because if you get triggered, look at that face. I'm fucking pissed. Your whole body is tensing up. That's not health. Getting triggered, mastery is going, oh, I just got triggered. Holy shit, I'm triggered. Man, that pissed me. But you're smiling, so it tells your body that you're safe and it can relax. So it's very key and it's very simple, but it's important to understand. You stop, you smile, and you take a breath. Taking those breaths and breathing and dropping into your heart stops the emotional trigger from running. I'm pissed. He always does that. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Everybody's always talking about me, attacking me, my whole family, whatever it is. That's the program. That's the old story. So when you stop and take a breath and smile, relax your body, and then you ask the priceless question, what is this trying to show me about me? That's 100% accountability. That's when you clear it. And then when you get to the point where you can say, thank you for being my mirror and teacher. Now that's mastery. That's when you're ascending. And ascending doesn't mean we're turning into angels, or we already are. It just means you're ascending beyond these same repeating, triggered automatics that keep people stuck in 3D. And so it just works. So anyway, we've been going a long time. It's 10:10. I love it. So does anybody have any questions about anything I've covered? These are the three pieces right here. Okay? Let me move my book. Inner healing. You can snapshot this if you want. Understanding the belief system is a very limiting prison of agreements. It all came from outside of ourselves. And all triggered reactions and dramas either stem from this belief system being challenged or because an unhealed wound or trauma is being reactivated. Simple. And then 3, learning to consciously and intentionally create and manifest our reality each day and throughout the day, instead of allowing the external world to trigger us and influence us. So, yeah, it's life-changing stuff. So, any questions before we go? Okay. If anybody's interested in doing the 30-day mentorship, I'll get on a call with you for free, no obligation. It's not a sales call. I don't want anybody going through it unless they're not 100% yes, because I'm not going to pull anybody uphill. I've done that before. I've learned my lesson. But if you really want to align and do this, my door's open. And I only journey with 4 people each month, because when I'm in it with them. And I found that I can't do more than 4 people, because you can reach out to me every day if you like. I'll message you in Messenger, respond, and instead of waiting for next week's call, you will have interaction every day as this stuff's coming up. You'll have the daily tracking sheet. You'll have all the PowerPoint trainings. There's 4 hours of trainings to watch where I guide you through with imagery, visuals, and text, and me speaking, because people understand things on different levels. And you will see the program running and how it keeps you stuck. Completely life-changing stuff. So if you're interested in that, send me a private message or go to the website and just fill out the simple little 5-question questionnaire, and I'll get on a call with you. And you will definitely learn something, whether you decide to do the course or not. So Stephanie, you're welcome. Thank you for tuning in, staying on here with all of us. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Davia, I miss you. Thank you for all your wonderful posts on all the beautiful animals and everything. Okay, so Davia went through the course. So she says, much love, Jeff. Journeying with you has been and is still life-changing every day. Magical indeed. I love you so much. Thank you. That really touches my heart. So I need to take a breath. You know, for so many years, I was really fucked up. I was a really loving guy like everybody else. But what I chose to go through on my soul contract was tough, but it's what took to get me to this point. And so I know that I chose it. And I know that everybody else out there chose it, but when they can't see that they chose it yet, it's really, really painful. So to receive a compliment like this from a mirror is truly life-changing for me, because this is why I do this. When I come on and do, I don't know what I'm going to say when I come on here and do this. I know what the tools are, but it's like, are you going to say the same thing every time? And it's like, kind of, I almost do. That's why it's so powerful that if people come on and interact, that we open things up on a different level together, which is the whole key. This is where we're going together. I'm not going into 5D by myself. I'm going with all of you. It's going to be the biggest party ever. It's not going to be any dis-ease. We're going to be talking to animals, horses, coherently, like it's going to be so mind-bogglingly beyond. You're going to be able to travel with just thinking about something. It's beyond anything I can even describe, because I don't remember. But receiving reflections like that after what I've been through myself is truly like touching in a big, big way. Yeah, absolutely. You know this stuff. I'm just a reminder, and I'm just reminding myself. But the key is the programs were so strong that you must have a daily go-to thing where you create your reality. I create my reality every morning, but I leave open a space for magic and miracles But I just basically set it up like, okay, I'm loving on my body, I'm breathing, I'm smiling, thanking all my trillions of cells. And then I just envision anything I desire, it's already here now. Amazing clients, traveling, playing concerts all over the world, hanging out and healing the animals, celebrating, going down the river in Thailand, eating the best fruits and vegetables, connecting with people all over the world. It's already here now. There's no hoping, wishing, wanting, trying, needing. That's all tells your subconscious it's still not here yet. Super key to get this. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. And we have one thing here from Alicia, any flute tonight. I got some tears in my eyes. I'm not going to apologize. That's healing. Yeah, I'll fire up the flute. Oh, I just happen to have one right here. What do you know? All right, so thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you for holding the frequencies that you're holding. Thank you for being willing to look at the programs that we took on as part of our journey. Thank you for being willing to take ownership of anything that still needs to be healed or cleared, or, if you need help, reach out. It's really just being willing to do it. I don't heal people. I'm not a healer. Nobody heals you. I mean, maybe Jesus could. I don't know. I don't remember hanging out with him. But you heal yourself through forgiveness and just understanding that it was part of your soul contract. You chose it because you knew you were so magnificent and it would be the most incredible roller coaster ride that you would come out winning. You knew it, even if you don't remember it. So as I play a little bit of this flute, just tune in to love on your body. Just love on your body. You don't have to think about anything else. Love on your body. And then when I hit the bell, you just send all that love out to everybody on the planet, to Mother Earth, to all the animals, to all the plants that are unconditionally loving you in every moment, every flower, every dragonfly, every piece of fruit, every leaf on a tree, every bit of water, every stream. Everything is here for you. It's not asking for anything. So anyway, thank you for showing up, and I look forward to connecting in the near future. So love on yourself. Here we go. Send all that love to every cell of your body. Send it out to everybody on the planet. Know that you came here. Get excited. Create your reality every single morning. Be in gratitude. Point out everything that you can be grateful for, and watch yourself magnetize in more and more and more of that. Big, big love from Thailand. Here if you want to connect. Oh, one final request to the 11 people that are on here. Anybody that would be open to sharing this in your groups or anything so that other people can see this, if you think they would benefit from it, thank you very much. My last transmission was shared in over something like 50 to 100 groups or something. So thank you very much for that. And I'll be back soon. Have a great day. Thank you, Stephanie. Much love. All right, everybody, stay excited.